Welcome to Watchat, where we chat about watches and other facts of life. This is probably the best, most recent modern Grand Seiko out there. The SLGA013 is one of GS's latest heritage collection that ticks most of the boxes, if not all, of an everyday watch that one could ask for. I have recently done a review on the SLGA009, which is the high-bit relative of this SLGA013. At the end of this video, I'll do a quick comparison between the 013 and the 009. If you missed that video, I'll put a link in the description below. However, I would suggest that you check out that video after you finish this video and see if you agree with me why I think the 013 is better than the 009. So, let's begin with its specification. The 013 has a 40mm diameter which falls within the ambit of the perfect size for most wrist size. It has a lug-to-lug of 47.4mm and a thickness of only 12.1mm. On paper, the size ratio is close to perfect. On the wrist, it is phenomenal. The case material here is GS Ever Brilliant steel, which is the world's most corrosion-resistant steel. Grand Seiko says that the stainless steel here has a Pren value of 1.7 times higher than that of the grade of steel used in most high-end watches. A Pren of 32 is considered the minimum for seawater pitting resistance. 1.7 times of the lowest Pren number of the 316L steel makes it even better than any of Rolex's 904L steel. In addition to the corrosion resistant, the Ever Brilliant steel also has a special white sheen that enhances the beauty of the watch. Notice the white hue it has when I compare it with my Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue and my Rolex Wimbledon. What about if I compare it with my Grand Seiko Champagne Diamond here? Anyway, in case you missed my videos on these watches, I'll put a link in the description below. The case design on this watch is brilliantly executed to showcase its Zaratsu polishing, which is the mirror-like polishing you see on the smooth bezel, case, and the lugs. The protruding middle section is brush finish, providing it with some protection on the Zaratsu surface whenever you place the watch down on the side. This ingenious design is one of my favorite as it helps to maximize the display on the Zaratsu shine and yet provide some form of protection on them. Seiko and Grand Seiko have been using this blueprint in some of their watches like the Seiko Sumo line and the Grand Seiko SPGJ241. Both of which I have done a video on them. Their links are in the description below. The beautifully angled and curved lugs shows how much of attention GS places even on the lugs. There are holes on the lugs for easier change of strap. The lug width here is 18mm. The bracelet here is also Ever Brilliant steel, which shares the same white hue and durability as its case. The 3 solid link design bracelet has the top and bottom brush finish with the edge of the center link having some polished motif, giving it enough shine on the bracelet but yet keeping it safe from hairline scratches. The side profile of the links are also Zaratsu polish. There are some micro links and screw pins for easy size adjustments. The clasp here is a 3-fold clasp with a twin push release button, which is very secure. It won't open unless both the buttons are pushed. The GS logo on the clasp is conservatively capped in steel color, unlike that of the SLGA007, which I also think is a cool looking piece. And I digress. The see-through sapphire crystal case back vividly shows the gorgeous 9RA2 caliber movement, which is one of GS's latest tech that has an accuracy of ±5 seconds a day or a ±10 seconds a month. It has an anti-magnetism of 4800 APM and has 38 joules. Most impressively, it is a spring drive automatic movement with a 5 days of power reserve. The screw down crown is pretty huge, which helps with the grip. The crown is of course engraved with GS logo and there are no crown guards, giving it a clean look. The dial design here is most remarkable. The celestial orbit echoed dial resembles the 3-ring pattern on the SLGA013, save that it is tilted diagonally. The black under certain lighting can look a little brown. The hour markers comprise of these single batons, save for the 12 o'clock which has a double baton. The batons are engraved with lines on the surface and are chamfered on 4 sides with polished surfaces. The date window frames has polished surface at the outer parts but is brushed in the inner frames. The dolphin hands have sharp edges which is also polished. This Zaratsu polishing gives out a sensational bling like diamonds underneath the box-shaped sapphire crystal. The AR coating on the crystal helps give a lucid view of the rose gold polished second hand that beautifully glides across the textured dial, capturing the serene passage of time. This complements the applied brand name that is also rose gold. The words Grand Seiko, Spring Drive, 5 days, Japan 9RA2-OACOR1 and the minute track are painted in white with a hint of glittered silver. The date at the 3 o'clock has a black backdrop with white numberings which blends in well with the black dial. The date change here is alright. When you pull out the crown at position 1, you can change the date instantly. At position 2, this stops the second hand and you can adjust the time by moving the minute hand. The date starts tilting at 11:30 PM and snap at 11:57 PM. Still, what makes me say is that this is probably the best most recent modern Grand Seiko out there. For starters, it's that dial. Although it is a recycled dial from the SLGA007, it is still one of the best looking dial GS has pulled. I find the patterns on the black to be more visible compared with its blue variant. The rose gold contrasting with the black is a far more luxurious color combination compared with the blue and gold. This color symphony is also becoming more and more popular these days. The less chunky markers and dolphin hands gives this watch a more elegant and refined look, making it a very graceful dress watch to wear. With the bracelet on, you can really wear this watch in every occasion, not having to worry about sweat and water. By the way, it has a 100 meter of water resistance. The ever-brilliant steel is also a big plus compared to GS previous models as they tend to be more durable. The higher print value is important especially when one is constantly in contact with chemicals such as chlorine, hand soap, body lotion, perfume, or even sweat and seawater. I don't think these factors will corrode stainless steel like acid disintegrate metals, but over time, it will probably cause it to lose its shine. Hence, I think this is where the white sheen on the ever-brilliant steel shines the best. The longer power reserve and the more accurate spring drive makes it one of the best movements out there, both in the aesthetic and engineering sense. Grand Seiko did not shortchange you, but took your consideration and moved the power reserve indicator at the back of the watch. This helps to clear up the dial, giving it a very clean look. Less is more, I guess. Last but not least, this watch pays homage to the 44GS. In case you are wondering what that is, the 44GS was the watch design that sets the standard in 1967 for all current models. Its shape, lux, polishing and design are known as the iconic Grand Seiko style today. And this year is the 55th anniversary limited edition of the 44GS, which is limited to only 550 pieces worldwide. This is a very collectible piece and is something you can wear on a daily basis. Now, about the difference with the 009. Apart from the obvious differences in color, movement and the thickness of the case, the 009 being 0.4mm thinner and 0.2mm shorter, the crown design on both these watches are slightly different, with the black watch having a flatter surface and a wee larger crown. The date window on the black has a more rectangular shape compared to the blue, which has a square shape. Then there is the font use on the date. The black has a more substantial looking numbering, which helps with legibility and its classiness. Then there is that printing at the bottom of the dial, which the black kinda have the printing there spaced out. Don't ask me why is there a difference, GS just make them that way. Perhaps it has to do with the different preference the studio have when designing it. Did you know that all mechanical watches from Grand Seiko are designed in the Shizukushi studio, whereas all spring drive and quartz watches of Grand Seiko are designed by the Shinshu Watch Studio? So, there you have it. What do you think of this watch? If you like it, please leave your comments below, and if you don't like it, please tell us why by leaving your kind comments below as well. Anyway, if you like this kind of video, please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification icon to support me, and I'll really appreciate it and promise to make more videos like this. Until the next one, thank you for watching.